Hi, welcome back to Thrive America. I'm joined by colleague Todd Schnick. Todd and I are part of a group called Growth Answers that meets every month at the Georgian Club here in Atlanta, Georgia. And Todd and I have had several conversations over the years, got to know each other as well, and share some clients. And we'd love to see you guys out at our next Growth Answer event. You can see Todd speak and get to know us and those kind of things. But Todd, I want to focus here on a little bit about your business and some of the things I've seen you do with Intrepid. I know you keep a really great blog, and as much as I can, I get over there and I'll leave comments. But the things that you're talking about on your blog are just incredible. So go check out Todd's blog, which we'll have right below here for you. And I want you to really focus now on how you can help us thrive in this economy. What do you know? What are your expertise? What can you share with us today that can help us thrive, in addition to all the social media stuff you've shared with us, and we appreciate that. You talk about being fearless. What does that mean to you here?
Well, I didn't name my company Intrepid just because I like the word. There was a real meaning behind it, and Intrepid means courageous, fearless, and bold. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily that I want to be fearless and courageous and bold. It's I want my clients to be able to market themselves in a way. And when I say fearless, I don't mean reckless. Mm-hmm. I mean fearless, meaning it's okay to fail. And with marketing, we have mutual friends who are always talking about test and measure, and you got to try things. And it's the old Edison notion of I didn't fail all those times. I discovered ways that it didn't work. You know, and so I try to convince people that it's okay to try things. Direct mail campaigns, messaging. Talk about social media. There's a lot of different tools. Maybe there's some that work and some that don't. Right. But you cannot be afraid to fail. It's Watson of IBM who said, double your rate of failure to succeed, and so that's the message I'm trying to convey, that you just can't be afraid, and if you plan and you prepare and you do your best to move forward smartly, you still can be fearless, and you still can be bold in trying some neat things, and you might just land on that right combination of message and tactic that allows your business to thrive.
I think you're touching on something that you might be able to kind of illuminate a little bit more about, like old school of thought and new school of thought. Like, I sense that I hope that we're coming into a new economy. And what does that mean to you? How do we have to shift our mindset to be in this new economy versus that kind of old way of thinking in a sense of, brick and mortar kind of successful business?
Well, marketing. What you have to thrive in this economy, you have to get your head around the fact that marketing is changing. Before, it used to be you would spend money with a Madison Avenue firm and just put up television commercials and buy advertisements on TV and on radio and on newsprint, and it was a one-way communication, and you're trying to interrupt people from living their daily lives, trying to convince them of a message that they need to take a few seconds to listen to. Marketing is changing. It's no longer that way. Marketing is now a dialogue. It's now a two-way street. And that's one of the reasons why social media is so popular now, because it really facilitates that new way of marketing. And so if you can understand that marketing is changing, even if you're in a business or a field that doesn't necessarily apply itself very well to social media per se, you still need to understand, and that's why blogs are so effective, and why more interactive mail and direct response programs, because you need to be conversing with your customer now, and you're not just hammering them with a message and hoping that they'll respond. If you can understand that concept, that marketing is changing, then you can begin to thrive in this economy.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with you that we're shifting into a different kind of mindset and marketing your business right now with an understanding of this principle is going to help you thrive. How can we be a resource? How can we build communities? And then you talk about giving back, and let's talk about some of the things that maybe you're doing or some of the things you've seen other people do as a principle to give back and giver's gain, if you will.
Well, for me it's the principle of that karmic. If you give, you're going to get back. And I've long been an advocate that if you, as part of your business's overall strategy and mission, if you're serving your community, For me, I serve on the board of the Furniture Bank of Metro Atlanta, and you've been kind enough to donate a lot of time and energy to help us with that. I think that's going to come back and help me. I think, for one, it feels good. To be perfectly blunt, it sheds good light on my company, and it makes me look good, and that's good marketing, and that's but you can you can engage other people in that process with you, which is all part of that building community and interacting with one another.
Right.
But let's look at it another way. You're meeting a whole new class of people that you're networking with, and so you're by giving back to the community and getting involved in different organizations and functions and events, you're meeting a whole new bunch of people that you can add to your network that just grows your range of influence. Plus it feels good, and frankly, in this day and age, there's a lot of help that's needed. So
definitely,
you will never convince me that giving back isn't good marketing.
Yeah, no, definitely. We're obviously talking with Todd about how to thrive in this economy. You've brought up some great points, and I want to be sure that you're listening and paying attention, because these are just awesome principles. Plan and process. What do you mean by plan and process here?
Well, we've been taught from day one that you will not succeed if you don't have a written plan. And it's amazing to me how many business people I have talked to who don't have a written plan or haven't thought through to the extent that they need to. Now, just because you have a written plan doesn't mean you can't deviate from that. In fact, I'll argue that it's easier to adjust and adapt to a changing environment with a plan, because it's the roadmap. If you don't know where you're going, well, then you can't effectively adjust to a detour if you don't know where your destination is. If you know where you're going, then it is easier to recalibrate and find a new path to get where you're going. But without a plan and without a structure, without a process to achieve what you think you need to achieve to succeed, you'll never succeed.
Last point, I think we have time, is focusing on customer service as a way to thrive in this economy. How does that tie in with the new economy and the new mindset? How do we need to shift our focus?
Because of the new shift in marketing, that it is customer driven, and there's interactivity, and the customer, the prospect, the marketplace has a lot more means to communicate back and vent frustration or vent pleasure. You have to be responsive to that, and so the customer has more ways of responding to what you're doing and what your message is. You also, by virtue of those same tools, have a better ability to respond in kind and serve and be helpful and give back. Definitely.
I know a lot of major corporations are leveraging the social media to their advantage, creating fan pages. I know we had another guest talk about Dell, for example, created a page where they could have their customers log in and discuss ways they can improve their product, and Dell listened and improved their product. So Todd, Intrepid, what's a good workflow if someone watches this and they want to get in touch with you? I know you work as a consultant as well as you do a lot of other things, but let's educate me on how we can get in touch with you. What's your ideal situation?
The best way to find me is just to go to my blog, which is intrepid-llc.com, intrepid-llc.com, and there's a button on that main page where you can send me an email. That's the best way to get a hold of me.
It's true. Todd's on his computer a lot. You can Twitter him. You can see him on his blog, and definitely spend some time and go to that blog and read up on some of the tips and tricks that you're sharing with the world with us, Todd. Just want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been great.
And we'll see you next time here on Thrive America.